What's going on, my credit fiends? Today we're going to be talking about how you can get them sky high personal loans, what you need to do, who I went through, what I would recommend for you guys. Of course, none of this is financial advice or anything. This is just based on my own experiences that I've been through over the years. Now, you can also get with me to figure out how you can get 6 figures in credit, all right? 6 figures in just credit cards, not even talking about personal loans. This is just an available credit. All you have to do is just DM me that I need 6 figures in credit. DM me on Instagram. I just made an Instagram. I don't normally do all the scrolling type social media. I really like YouTube. That's why I do YouTube. However, you can go on Instagram and you can DM me that I need 6 figures in credit and I will help you out. I'll help you get started. I also have a Twitter as well. If you're interested in the crypto space, you can kind of see what I've been talking about on there as well if you want to go ahead and figure out what to invest in crypto. Now, none of that is financial advice, but it is a really good time to get in while everything is bloody red. So let's get straight into this video. My very first personal loan was through Best Egg. They gave me a $5,000 personal loan. And of course, that's gonna depend on what type of debts you have and how your credit is looking. You're gonna need a lot of payments on time. And also it just depends on how your history is. Do you have a lot of payments with revolving accounts? Do you have a lot of payments on loans? Just make sure that your payment history before you get into any of this is looking sharp. If you need some type of explanation, deeper explanation on how your credit should be in order to go ahead and get higher personal loans and get approved for these personal loans a lot easier, then like I said, you can DM me and I will definitely help you. Best Egg actually allows you to do a vehicle equity loan. So just like how you have the home equity loan, you can use your vehicle as collateral to get a higher personal loan through them. I don't know if this is new, but I definitely don't remember seeing this years back whenever I first applied for my very first personal loan. But again, I wasn't as well versed as I am now. The next creditor that I would recommend is Upgrade. Now, I went from the 5,000 personal loan with Best Egg, and then I went over to Upgrade, and they were able to approve me for a $20,000 personal loan, and that was even with having a car loan. It really just depends on what your income is and how your other debt obligations are, as well as what they're looking at whenever they go ahead and approve you for these certain loans, because these personal loans, normally they're asking you what your income is, but certain ones you can slide by because they don't necessarily specify whether they just mean yours or your household's income. So a lot of them, they won't even ask you for additional information, just depending on what your income type is or how much your income is or just what the application process is. And I'll let you know exactly which one is the one that's a little bit more rough when it comes to that. And I'll let you know why they're like that as well, or at least why I think that they're like that. Upgrade is also a really good one. Of course, I have videos on all of the Upgrade credit cards as well if you want to go ahead and get well versed in the Upgrade space. Upgrade is a really good place to go ahead and get that 3% on mostly everything on their credit cards, but their personal loans, they do pretty good on approving you for personal loans as well. This next one is SoFi. Now, SoFi, I didn't directly apply for. This was just in my household, so my wife was able to apply for this one. SoFi, I have a love-hate relationship with them. They are the ones that do require that extra documentation whenever you're going ahead and applying for a personal loan. They definitely specify that it has to be yours and only your income. It can't be your whole household income unless you're doing a joint account, which if you do a joint account with them and you do a joint application account, same thing, then it's going to apply to both credit profiles. You're gonna have that one account applying to both credit profiles. And I wouldn't really recommend doing that, especially if it's you and your spouse, because you want to be able to split that up and get as much as you can. Now, they are the ones that also have no origination fees. An origination fee is essentially a fee that they're charging you on top of the personal loan. Let's say you got approved for a $20,000 loan. The origination fee might be $1,500 or whatever they decide to charge you at that point. You might get a loan for $20,000, but then you might come out with only 18,500 directed to your credit cards or directly to your bank account. However, the no fees and the no origination fee with SoFi is really good, even though they require more documentation to make sure that it's yours and only your income. You may not get approved for as much, but there's no origination fees. So that's really how you can run it up on them as well, and run it up for your actual credit profile and make yourself look good. If you're making these payments for X amount of months, about let's say like 6 months, 10 months, I'll do a video on this as well on how you can really run it up, but this is just a quick overview. If you're making those payments for 6 to 10 months and it's a 3-year loan and you pay it off in 10 months because now your spouse went and got a SoFi loan and they paid off your loan with their loan, but there's no origination fees, and essentially you're not really making more of a mess. You're not making more interest on top of that, because a lot of the other creditors are going to have an origination fee on top of that. If you're bouncing the loan back and forth, is what I call it, bouncing the loan. If you're bouncing the loan back and forth and just trying to get those payments, those on-time payments, and make your history look really good, because if you're able to pay off a $20,000 loan in less than a year, and it's a 3-year loan or a 5-year loan, that makes you look super good, and they're going to want to give you more. That's how I was able to go from 5 to 20 to 30 plus. My highest loan for personal loan was $34,000. However, that does depend on your debt to income ratio and what other debt obligations you have. Now, when I had the $20,000 loan through Upgrade, I did have a car loan as well. And that one was around 20, it was more than 20,000, I believe, or around 20,000 or less. Really just depends on who you're going through and what they're looking at exactly, if you can afford those payments and what your income is looking like. And my most favorite company to go through to get the high personal loans they always look out is Lending Club. Now, Lending Club, you can put your whole household information on there, because they're not necessarily going in and asking for all this extra information like SoFi was doing. However, there may be an origination fee on top of that, but the thing is that they're not asking for all this extra information, so you're gonna get approved for more. And if you go ahead and you do like I was saying before, and you're bouncing that loan back and forth, or you had other previous loans, or you have a lot of on-time payments with other loans, other credit cards being paid off, just depending on how your credit profile is set up, they will look out. So the first time you might go through them, they might approve you for a smaller amount, and then the next time you come through, they might approve you for that larger amount. So that's really how it goes. You got to step your way up. Your first personal loan, even if you do have the income to suffice that, it still might not be that high just because of your credit profile. If your credit profile is not that strong, then starting out, you're gonna have to be like me and starting out with that 5K loan, then you go to the 20, then you go to the 30 plus. It also depends on what type of loan you're getting through them. So if you're getting like a medical, or you're getting an auto loan, or just personal, it really just depends on that as well, because you can get approved for more in other ways. And that's up to you what you decide to do with that money, or however you want to finagle the system. Also, Lending Club's loans don't go as high. They only go up to 40,000. And maybe that's why, because they're just quick to give you that money. Because whenever I go through them and I put the whole full household income, just like you do on the credit cards, then they're able to just go ahead and give you that right straight off the bat. They didn't ask no questions, no nothing with that $34,000 loan. Now that $34,000 loan that I had, I didn't have a car loan on top of that. So my thing was cleared out. I showed that I didn't have any type of monthly household payments going to that, just like I tell you guys on the credit cards as well. If you're living with somebody or someone else is paying the rent, you can go ahead and put 0 for that. So that shows less debt obligations to things, and it's showing that you have more freed up money, and it's showing that you have this type of income coming in, you have all this freed up money, you don't have rent or anything like that. So they're gonna approve you for a lot more. And that $34,000 loan, which was paid within about a year or so, in their eyes, it was paid off within about a year. When I go and I get more debt to go and invest in other things like I did, and I went back to them, they were able to approve me again, because I had that good relationship with them. Now I have a lot of other debt obligations, so that the other creditors that I went through, like I asked Best Egg, I asked Upgrade, they all said no. But then I go back to who I went to the last time that I had a loan, and they said yes, because I had that positive payment history and I showed them that I can give them their money within a year, even though the loan might have been 3 to 5 years. Lending Club is definitely on the top of my list when it comes to the personal loans. However, if you're not looking for that origination fee and you don't want to pay that extra, which I think in my opinion, it's worth it to go ahead and give them that origination fee, especially if you are leveraging the money that you're getting from them, then you can go ahead and easily pay that back. But if you don't want that origination fee on top of that, I would tell you to go through SoFi. However, they are going to ask you for a lot more information to make sure that it's just your income. So you may not get approved for as much through SoFi just because of that. So if that makes sense for you to go through SoFi so that way you don't have the origination fee, then you can go ahead and do that if it's just you. But if you have a household where you want to put on that extra income and you want to show that, hey, this other person pays the rent, I don't pay the rent, so my rent is going to be zero, then I would tell you to go through Lending Club. Now, of course, like I said, it's not financial advice or anything like that. That would be what I would do. I hope this helped you figure out which company you should go through to get your personal loan, which one is the best fit for you. If you want the higher amounts, I would go through Lending Club because they seem to be the most lenient when it comes to everything. If you got any questions on that or you just want to ask me anything about anything else in the past, any of my other videos, go ahead and shoot me a DM on Instagram. I just created it, so don't expect it to, you know what I'm saying, have a bunch of followers on there. It's not a scam profile or anything. It is me. Go ahead and shoot me a DM and I'll respond to you. Hey, we fiending for this credit. I hope I helped you guys out and I'll catch you in the next video.